You can now take your Figma designs and turn them into actual code using Claude. In this tutorial, I'm going to give you a crash course on Figma's MCP server so you can leave prototype prison and publish your ideas without a developer. Let's go. So we'll do this in 3 simple steps. First, I'll walk you through how to set up your project in Figma for the best results. Next, we'll add the Figma MCP server to Claude so we can translate from design to code. And lastly, after we've built our page, we'll publish it so it's a real project with a real URL. Okay, so here I am inside of the Figma desktop app, and as you can see, I just have built a basic landing page. There's no responsiveness, there's no other designs, it's just this page itself. Now, there's a couple of things I want to point out in terms of the project setup, which is absolutely going to help do the translation from here designing in Figma to actually code using Claude. The first thing that's most critical is using auto layout. You basically want to build your design in Figma like you're going to build it in, say, Webflow or Framer or another sort of like no coding tool. Essentially, you want to think about, hey, if I was going to build this visually on the web, how would I actually go about designing that inside of Figma? If everything didn't have auto layout, the AI, or Claude in this case, wouldn't actually be able to translate it as well or as reliably as it would be if we actually use auto layout. So for example, when I actually resize my page here, you can start to see how this would kind of work similar to a browser, and everything starts to flex in this right type of way. So even if we take this section, for example, you can see we're using padding at the top and the bottom, and we're using a gap here as well. Now, if you're already familiar with tools like Framer, this will become very natural. However, if you don't use auto layouts, I highly recommend you start using it, especially if you're trying to do this translation from design to code. So the TLDR here is the cleaner the project is inside of Figma, the easier it is for the Figma MCP to read and send to Claude. Now, let's set up the Figma MCP. But first, what is an MCP server? An MCP acts as a walkie-talkie between your AI and another application. It's essentially a bridge between that app, whether it be Figma in this case, Framer, or something else, and the LLM. For example, I can use Figma's MCP server to connect Claude Code to Figma, and I can tell the AI, hey, take this design in Figma and build it here in Claude Code, and it will do it. And it can also go the other way as well, depending on the capabilities of the MCP. So you might actually prompt the AI to complete a task in Figma. Now, setting up Figma and Claude together is really straightforward. So here we are inside of the Claude desktop app, which is my recommendation for when doing this. Go to Customize at the top left. So setting up the Figma connection in Claude is actually really straightforward. Now, there's a couple of different ways to use Claude Code. My recommendation is using the Claude desktop app. It's simply the most straightforward for designers, and you don't actually have to work in the terminal, which I think is a massive bonus. So here we are inside of the desktop app, and we've got 2 tabs here. We've got the Home tab, and we've got the Code tab. We want to make sure we're in Code, and let's go down to Customize. In Customize, we're going to go to Connectors at the bottom left here, and we're going to go and add a new connector. So I'm going to go Browse Connectors, and we're just going to search for Figma. Now, there are 2 connectors here. The one that we want is this one here, and we're just going to click Install. So we'll just click on Install, and that's it. And now we've actually got Figma installed inside of Claude, and we can now use the MCP server. Okay, so now that we've set up the connector, we can actually start bringing our design from Figma into Claude. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually open a brand new project. So I'm going to go down to the tab here, go to Open, and we're just going to create a new folder on my desktop. So we'll just call this our Figma demo. Now, you can call this whatever you want, but basically how Claude Code works is we need to create a project on our local device that we're actually storing the code in. So any code that's written by Claude will actually be stored inside of that folder. So now we can actually start taking our design and moving it to code. So the way we can do this is inside of Figma. If you go down to the dev mode in the bottom toolbar here, you will notice we have this section in our properties panel called MCP. Now, what happens is when I actually select a section or a frame on my design here, we'll get the ability to actually copy the link to that frame alongside a simple little prompt here. And then we can actually just ask the agent to implement that design in code. Now, my recommendation when actually doing this is to go section by section. So rather than trying to give Claude the entire context of the entire page, break things down for it, make it a little bit more simpler just so it can actually get the details right. So for example, I'm going to start with this intro section here. So I'm going to select it and then I'm going to copy that prompt. Now let's go back to Claude and let's actually paste this in. So we're going to ask it to implement this design from Figma. Now, since this is the first prompt, we actually want to ask it to do something very specific. So I'm going to ask it to build this as a HTML page and pay attention to the details. Make the design accurate. So just giving it a little bit more context is definitely going to help. And just from my experience, just asking it to simply just pay attention to the details and make it as accurate as possible, it'll just spend a little bit more time and compute actually thinking about implementing that design. So we'll just let that run and we'll see what it builds. Now it's worth noting too, from time to time, you'll get pop-ups like this. Now you can just click on always allow. Typically I just go down to the bottom here and go bypass permissions. So it doesn't do that and it can just run. Now this is quote unquote dangerous territory. To be honest, I think you're totally fine when you're just asking the agent to use the Figma MCP, but it does mean that for whatever reason, it can go off in its own sort of world and access whatever, but in most cases, you're safe. Okay, so pretty quickly, it's been able to implement the rest of the sections. So as you can see, it's basically translated this to code now, and this is all kind of clickable and interactive. So it's done a relatively good job. These sort of headlines feel a little bit too big, but this is where we can just prompt for specific edits. So let's just ask the agent to make my headline, so my H1 text, a bit smaller. It's feeling a little bit big right now. Now, I'm not a massive fan of actually using the sort of inbuilt browser inside of Claude Code. So what I'm actually going to do is actually set this up as a local environment on my machine so we can actually get a better preview of our website. So to do this, we can use what's called a local host. So I'm just going to ask Claude to set up a local host so I can preview my website. Great. And as you can see, it's basically just given us this link here, which is localhost 8000. So if I actually copy this link here, then I can say go to Google Chrome and I can paste it in and we can get a better preview of our website in a real browser. So this isn't looking too bad. We still have these sections here which feel way too big. So one way we could actually make changes is just to prompt it. Another way is to use a tool like Ompo, which is a visual editor for agents. So I'm just going to paste in that link that we had before, which was our localhost 8000. And now you can see I get my website on a freeform canvas and I can edit everything just like Figma or Framer. So let's change the text size here. Let's bring it well down to say 68 pixels. Maybe we'll do the same on this text here. And that's already looking better. Same on this section. I think we also need to set it to be 68 pixels. So we'll just do that. And we can also preview it in here and you can already tell this is looking much better. And then maybe for the footer, we keep it left aligned. And now that I'm seeing it in action, there's a couple of things that I might actually want to tweak. For example, I think there's too much padding happening here. So I'm just going to select all these elements and we'll just reduce the padding to say maybe 25 pixels. And I actually think I want this card here in the middle. So I'm just going to drag it to change the positioning. Okay, great. And what I can do is press publish at the top right. And I'm just going to copy that prompt and go back to Claude. And then we can get Claude to actually implement those changes. Okay, and if I refresh my local host here, you can now see it's made those changes. So it's made that headline smaller on both sections and changed the order of these cards. Now, this is looking good, but it's still feeling a little bit static. And we're also missing our navbar. So let's actually go back to Figma here. Let's copy the design for the navbar and let's ask it to implement it. So I'm going to ask it to implement that design from Figma and set it as my navbar. And I'm also going to make it fixed position. So as I scroll the page, it gets stuck to the top like a navbar should. Okay, so as you can see, we have our navbar now. And as I scroll, it gets stuck. But I actually want to make a change that after it exits this hero section, the background changes to white in the navbar. So a change like that, we can just ask Claude to do. Make it that once the navbar reaches past the hero section, change the navbar background color to white. Okay, cool. So now when I scroll, get to the end of the hero section, it changes to white, and I scroll back up, it changes to blue. Perfect. Now, the last edit I want to make on my page here is to make it feel less static and more alive. So I'm going to ask Claude to make my design come to life with some subtle animation. It should feel like a cool tech SaaS website. So don't go overboard, but just give some nice transitions in. I do think the key with actually prompting for design is to give it as much detailed context as possible. This is pretty broad, but it'll kind of get the right sort of idea. I've also found that using skills inside of Claude Code for design helps a ton, and I actually made a video of that on the channel. So if you're interested, I'll leave to that up here somewhere. Otherwise, there'll be a link down below. Okay, so let's refresh our localhost, and as you can see, damn, we get some really nice animations as this sort of comes through. This is really clean. Like, I'm really happy with this. I love this sort of animation that it's come up with here. And obviously, if I want to make further edits, I can just prompt it to do so. So our website is looking pretty good, but there's still one major problem, and that is that this still lives in our local environment, meaning that if I try to give this link to someone, they won't be able to view it, and it's only accessible on my device. Now, there's a few different ways we can publish our website or app to the internet. Usually, you should push your code to GitHub, where it's stored, and you can deploy it from there. However, that can get technical very quickly, so I'm just going to show you the easiest way to chuck it on a public domain so you can start to play and share it around. Now, I'll leave a link to this prompt down below, but you can simply just paste this in, and the first time you do this, it's going to prompt you to log into Vercel, which is a platform that actually lets you deploy your project to a domain. Okay, so there we go. It's given us a live link, so I'm just going to open that in my browser. And there you go. You can see this is a real website that lives on the internet now, and it's exactly what we had just built. And just like that, we've been able to take a design that we had made in Figma and turn it into a real website using Claude. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you want more tutorials just like this one, teaching you how to become an AI-powered web designer, feel free to subscribe because we put out new tutorials here every single week. And if you're interested in becoming a full stack designer, someone who can not only design, but also develop and publish, check out the resources below. But until next time, I'll catch you later.